When I start shooting, all y'all gonna clear out.
We all know it started in Tekken 3 when Jun Kazama felt danger approaching. She told Jin Kazama, if something happens, go find your grandfather Heihachi. He will protect you. Now, evil did come. Danger did find them. Ogre beat them up. Well, actually, Tekken 8 retcons that Jun Kazama won the battle, but that's not the point. She disappeared. Jin thought she was dead, so he went to Heihachi. This was the last time Jin Kazama was happy in the story. The last time. He went with Heihachi, and Heihachi immediately started to use his Devil Gene as a weapon, tried to manipulate it for his own gain. He used Jin as an asset instead of guiding him and helping him, and basically treating him different than Kazuya. Heihachi had all of these bad problems with Kazuya, and he created that same exact thing with Jin. This is why I was so interested in what he's going to do with Reina, because what lessons did you learn? Multiple children now that you completely disowned and discarded, and all of it is coming back to haunt him. So how do you learn and adapt? That's Tekken 8 Heihachi though. We'll see that later. Going back to the Tekken 3 Heihachi, he was in the middle of trying to take advantage of his family and use their powers to benefit him. Jin Kazama was caught up in the midst of that, and also his hatred for Ogre was blinding him from being able to see that he was being manipulated by Heihachi. Once Heihachi realized that Ogre was out of grasp and also Jin Kazama's Devil Gene could not be obtained, he did the most logical thing. He got a gun and he shot Jin in the back of the head. Wild story. Wild. But surprise, surprise, the Devil Gene is the most OP thing ever. Jin Kazama survived the blast by turning into Devil Jin, and these two characters have hated each other since. Heihachi created a new enemy who's very well versed in his fighting style, his martial arts, is a tough warrior. This would be the spark of the long running feud that we've seen throughout all of Tekkens, from 4 to 5 to 6. 6 was really the worst for Jin Kazama because, you know, in 5 and 4 there was some hopes, there was some glimpse, but 6 is when he became a villain. So much so to where the players hated it and forced Terada to course correct his story. But in that midst of being a villain, Jin Kazama wanted to, one, cleanse the world and restart it, kind of like Thanos style. If you look at some of the older things that Heihachi said in like the Tekken 2 era, he was saying similar things of restarting the world, right? So when you have Jin and Heihachi talking similar, you know that things is kind of going real crazy, right? But he also wanted to cause enough chaos in the world to get rid of Azazel. He was thinking of it like this: I need to cause enough chaos to awaken the demon that will destroy the world and then kill that demon. It was a short-term chaos to stop a permanent threat that would eventually awake. That's what the story tells us. Azazel would awake on his own. Who knows? There may be 300 years from then where there is no Jin Kazama, there is no Kazuya, there is no Heihachi to contest. So you can look at it from that way and think that Jin Kazama is doing some kind of a good thing. It's a hard thing, it's a difficult decision, but you could try to accept it. And that's what a lot of characters did, from Wang, Lars, Raven, Alyssa, Zafina. A lot of characters was just like, I guess we just will follow with this plan. We don't like it, but it's the best thing we have. Now, obviously that did not happen. Jin Kazama did not successfully kill Azazel. His power was absorbed by Zafina and then eventually taken from her by Kazuya Mishima. And then Kazuya Mishima went on this rampage for a short while with the power until he was eventually brought down by Jin Kazama with the help of Jun Kazama, right? She gave him some Kazama abilities and whatnot, right? Now, here's the thing. Through all of that time, I believe at the end of Tekken 8, Jin Kazama is 21. When he first showed up with Heihachi, I believe he was 15. Someone correct me on that. I know at the end of his training with Heihachi, when Heihachi betrays him, he's 19. So basically, you can see that for Jin's teen years and all the way up till he's 21, he's basically been engulfed in chaos, conflict, and war. This has consumed his whole character. And honestly, what does he do now? The reason why I want to make this video is because at the end of Tekken 8, we see a version of Jin Kazama that we have never seen before. And that's because he's happy. He defeats his father. I don't think Kazuya is dead. I just think Kazuya is unconscious. Jun Kazama will probably try to bring him to the good side. And then maybe, this is a big maybe Jin and Kazuya will team up in the future for some kind of battle between Ogre. We don't know what Heihachi's doing or Devil Rain is doing, but those are ideas, right? But just looking at what Jin Kazama is, he's a character who's now happy. We see him picking up flowers, thanking his mother, and then he goes on a bike ride with his girlfriend. This is the most at peace Jin Kazama has ever been. But the one thing about Tekken is that Tekken never stays peaceful for long. Tekken 9 will introduce some new conflict, or who knows, even if they do story DLC, a new conflict will be introduced. But now Jin Kazama is not engulfed in war, engulfed in hatred, engulfed in anger. This ending is kind of showing that he is leaving all of that alone aside, and he's trying to move on with his life and do better things. So I wonder, for the next game, for the next story edition, what will the developers do? Will they make Jin's story regress and bring him back to this negative, warmongering, hateful, dreadful, emo, type of character? Or will they push him in a direction where we get Happy Jin? What does this new Jin Kazama look like? He is known as being the emo, dreadful type of guy, and Tekken 8 is showing us a new version of him. One that is filled with hope and inspiration, and is kind of on a positive path. I just was thinking about that, how Jin Kazama has been upset and full of hate for the entire time that we have seen him. From Tekken 3 to Tekken 8, Jin Kazama has been angry, but Tekken 8 seems to be finally letting go of that anger. This is something we talked about in the past, is does Jin Kazama know that Azazel is still out there? Because Azazel, yes, they tried to destroy Azazel, and he thinks he did that. But one, I think their devil genes are still dormant, his and Kazuya's. But we also know that Azazel still exists because Devil Rain has her devil gene. But then also, Heihachi is alive. And Heihachi is talking about putting people back in their place and get a revenge. And he has this whole plan that he's coming up with. Think about it this, right? You know how we were surprised when Harada told us that multiple ogres exist? What do you think Jin's gonna do? Jin only know of one ogre, the ogre who beat up his mom from his perspective, and he got revenge. But eventually learning that there's multiple ogres out there, what will he do? I mean, if I was him, I would literally go on a mission to find all of those ogres, and I would beat them up in their sleep. I would find their temple, walk in there, ogres laying in bed with a blanket, I'm punching on them, That's what I would do. I really would like to see multiple ogres show up and just wreak havoc. It was teased to us back in Tech Attack Tournament 2 days. If Marizu can somehow trigger that, that would be really cool, like a calamity type event, the apocalypse type event. The apocalypse scenarios was always teased, and yes, we got a glimpse of it in the Tekken 8, but never like full scale global destruction. Kind of think of it as like the Invincible War. You know how there was many Invincibles all over causing havoc? That's what I want to see the ogre do. Happy Jin Kazama. Are you guys excited? Are you guys happy yourselves? Or do you want Jin Kazama to get angry again? Maybe Zhao Yu breaks up with him or something and he's heartbroken. I don't know. We'll see.